Good morning, everyone. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to do our next assignment that uses the clone tool. This one is going to be a little hide and seek. So some of you may have, while you're out at a restaurant or something along those lines, come across the little game machines that have where compare two images side by side, and you have to figure out the five differences between the two. Well, this is basically what we're going to be doing today. Is we're going to be creating this. So you can search where you want to or what you want to look up. For me, I'm just going to scroll down until I find a picture that I like. This one's actually a real nice one, but I think I'm going to skip that. This one is a great one for me to use. Now, you can use a portrait style image just like this, or you can use a horizontal image. Doesn't matter. The project's the same, except for one step. You may switch your numbers around. That's about it. So I'm going to hit free download. And thank you to Photo Studio for this picture. So now that I've downloaded it, I like to hit Show in Finder because it pulls up exactly where the image is. And then I can just drag that right to Affinity Photo. My computer's acting a little slow today, so let's bypass that. Let's go to Affinity Photo that way. Hopefully it opens it up fairly quickly. All right, good. So just like any project, this is, again, once again, a destructive project. So that means that we need to make a copy of our original image. So if you hit Command-J, that gives us the duplicate copy. Eventually, what we're going to do is, to make that seek and find, we're going to double our canvas, which is something that's new to us. And then I'm going to slide over the new photo to the other side and basically have these side by side, left and right, where I'll have the original on the left and the new one on the right. So your objective of this project is to eliminate 5 things without anyone noticing what those are. So you want to try to make sure that they blend as best as possible. So I'll show you the first thing, then I'm going to pause the video, do 4 more, and then I'll show you the next step. So once again, we're going to grab this stamp tool. Again, I like my opacity down a little bit. I like my hardness way down. And I'm going to zoom in. I make sure that I'm on this top layer. And the first one I'm going to make a little obvious. So I'm going to get rid of this drain spout that's right here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make my brush a little bit larger. And what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to select from right over here. I think I can match that right around here. You can see the more I click, the more that copies in, and it'll be less obvious. And then I can grab from this side and bring that in just a little bit. Again, just trying to make this at least repetitive as possible. Really mixing where I'm getting my colors from. I want to make sure I stay away from that bolt that's in the wall right there, because then it'll make it super obvious. All right, so that's my first one. You can see it's fairly easy. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. It does give me a little bit of a shadow there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one more spot. I'm going to come up here, because I like this spot right there. I'm going to make my brush a little bit larger. And I'm going to just tap it in a couple times. And the reason being is I probably only clicked it once or twice in a certain spot, and the image didn't copy enough. So again, you basically stay in one spot and you click a couple times without moving your mouse. And what that does is it kind of puts the paint, quote unquote, on multiple times and makes it a little more detailed. So I'm going to zoom back out. Definitely do not notice it now. I think I was very successful with that. So again, I'm going to pause my video. All right, so now I got done pausing my video. Here is my final product. I have officially gotten rid of 5 things in here. Some things may be a little more noticeable than others. One I think is going to be really hard for you to notice, but let's see if we can do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Document, and we are going to hit Resize Canvas. Now, here's an important step. Because I am a vertical image, what I want to do is I want to switch to this vertical line here. I want to switch to the middle one right here. Technically, I guess it doesn't matter too much, but I like doing it anyway, because basically what this anchor point is it's saying, hey, I want the image to stay the same from here, and any changes you make, you're going to add them to the opposite side. So I am going to duplicate, or double rather, my width of my image, because I want these to be side by side. So that's my horizontal movement. Your horizontal number is this first number here. Your vertical number is this number here. We can tell that because since it's a vertical image, a portrait image, the width is smaller than the height. So we know that this is width and this is height. So what I'm going to do is I am going to double these numbers. So you got to do a little bit of math. So this is going to be 8048. Now notice that I unclick this lock before doing this, because if you don't, it'll double this as well, and we don't want that. We only want to double the width of the project. 8048. I hit Resize, and you're going to notice that the open area is now to the left over here. I'm going to grab the Move tool, which is the one that's under the hand. I'm going to hold the Shift button, because then that will allow me to go up or down. It'll only go left to right. I'm going to drag this all the way over. And for some reason, something weird happened to mine. Oh, there it goes. That was really weird. Okay. So now I have my image side by side to one another, and it would be your job in order to figure out which one has or where the changes are from left to right. Okay. If you would like, what you can also do is you can add a little box. Make sure it's not covering anything you changed. You can add a box if you want, and add the word before. Maybe I'll make this capitalized so it looks a little bit better. Before, and I don't like the font because it's just Arial and I don't like that font. So I'm going to choose this one. You can choose whichever one you want. I'm going to shrink it a little bit, and I'm going to shrink this as well. Now, because I have these done already, why do it again when I can just duplicate these? Now, a nice cool thing is see how I have these highlighted? So I clicked the top one, I held Shift, and I clicked this bottom one. If these were out of order, I would just hold the Command key before I click the second one. But since they're in order, I can hold the Shift, and it grabs them both. Now, before I move this over, I'm going to hold the Shift key, so this way it horizontally moves. But I'm also going to hold the Command key. You're going to see what happens. Because I held the Command key, what it did was it duplicated the layers that I was grabbing. So it left the originals, and it made a duplicate copy of them. Now all I have to do is just change this to after. Center it up, because let's face it, we're going to do something right. We're going to do it right. So there's my before and my after. And again, it's the other person's job that's viewing this to figure out the 5 changes. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds just in case you want to pause this video. Take a look, see if you can find the 5. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here's my reveal. So the first one, what I'll do is I'll add a little circle around each of these. So the first one we changed together. So that one's pretty obvious. So this is gone in both photos. You can see that, okay? The second photo, or the second change in the photo, rather, sorry, is a little less obvious, but hopefully you saw it, or hopefully you were able to find it, I should say, is that. Here's an obvious one that, whatever that little sign is above there, I'm not actually sure what it is, just a little decal. And then my fourth one, not sure if you can see it, sorry. The fourth one is this little box that's on the wall. I got rid of that. And the last one was really tiny. And I'll actually show you what I did in order to get rid of that one. It's actually this little weed that's growing up against the step there. Now you may go, well, how did you get that to look like this one over here? Well, I actually copied it, but the issue is they're facing in the opposite direction. So when you click the stamp tool, if you look at all of your options across this top, there's something at the very end that says flip. So you can see I have a flip horizontal option. So what I did was I option clicked here, and then you can see, before I even click anything, you can see how it gives me that corner of this the step right there. And I just lined it up and started clicking away until I got rid of the weed, and then I used the crack that's right here, the joint that's between the wall and the ground right there, to bring that over. And then I copied this one more time and went on top just to make it perfect. And then I was done. So I hope you enjoy this project. Again, it's a little seek and find. We'll print out the really successful ones, and if you want to share it with someone and see if they can figure out how good of a Photoshopper you are. So enjoy, and I hope you have fun with this project, and let me know if you have any questions.